Hello, and thank you for joining me for this Biofield tuning session, Allowing Joy in Your Life. My name is Blythe of Tulamai's Healing, and I'm excited to offer this session for you. Just a couple of housekeeping things to go over before we get started, particularly if Biofield tuning is new for you. For the session, I just want you to find a place to relax, whether it's laying down or in a seated position, as long as you feel that your body is supported and that you can breathe easily. That's great. Another thing about your breath is throughout the session, your only job really is to relax and breathe. And through the session, if you're experiencing sensations, emotions, or discomforts, turn to your breath, help that shifting energy. I will also be breathing throughout the session, which you can use as a cue to remember to breathe yourself. Another thing is that this session is intended for you and anyone else who receives it in the future. Everyone is represented here in their individual space, and no energies are meant to cross. With respect to contraindications or health concerns, I always include the contraindications in the YouTube video description. So if you need to read that, you can just pause and go there. Or if you received this audio another way, I will have also provided the contraindications to you that way. If you have immediate health concerns, advanced illness, or you may be pregnant, those are definitely reasons to go over and read those through. I want you to be comfortable, to feel safe receiving the session. Okay, so let's get started. Again, the session is called Allowing Joy in Your Life. We'll start with the opening sequence and working on your Earth Star, and then moving up to, which is around your feet area, and then moving up to the top of your head. And then after that, we will move into work on the sacral chakra. So let's just take a couple of breaths to bring ourselves into the session together. So nice inhales and exhales. Another nice inhale when you're ready. And exhale. Feel your body starting to come into the session as you inhale again. And exhale all that air and energy out. Now bring your attention to the area in your mid-calf area, and we'll begin the session there. Finding this energy in the area of your mid-calf and just connecting to it. And we're going to gently guide this down below the bottom of your feet. So in Biofield tuning, we call this the Earth Star. And what we like to do is, as we guide it down and it finds its place below your feet, its more natural location, we like to stabilize it there. And it also gives us this opportunity of grounding for the session, grounding for you, grounding for me. So as we go through our daily life, we tend to go through some stressors, have some tensions or some busyness, and this energy just pulls up from under our feet and kind of likes to tuck up. So we're going to encourage that lengthening. The more length we have energetically from the bottom of our feet up to the top of the head, the more space we have for our breath to flow freely and unobstructed, and for our energy to flow freely and unobstructed. Remembering to breathe. The fork feels really nice. Sounds really, really nice as well. So stay with me here in the session. I felt a little bit of resistance there, so I maybe started thinking, because I said a word kind of funny, and maybe you started thinking about the same thing. I don't know. But let's come back to the session. Distractions come, and we have to bring ourselves back to the present, bring our energy back to present, bring our breath back to center. Great job. So as I guide the fork away from your mid-calf, I do experience some resistance, which I've hit right now. So we're just taking the opportunity to allow the tone of the fork to just be introduced. Give this energy time to tune itself to these pure tones. Realize that there may be some dissonance, creating some stuckness, and this blocks your flow of energy. So that's what we're trying to do. Just encourage this movement. Throughout the session, you always have your breath to come back to, as I mentioned, and this ability of exhaling and discharging. You can visualize it coming from your tailbone, out the bottom of your feet. Whatever visualization really works for you and helps encourage that breath movement. Okay, it's feeling good. So I'm going to turn and face your body, pointing the fork up towards the center of your body, encouraging this connection of energy, expansion. Connecting the current to flow up the center of your channel, your center channel, where you can envision your left and your right side expanding away from center and leaving that unobstructed pathway. Great, good movement. Staying with the moment, coming back to your breath. And on the next strike, I'm going to work as a grounding strike, so you can envision a rope or a tether going down towards the earth, really giving you that channel to always discharge through. Encourage your breath to go that way. That pathway down into the earth then allows you to inhale that re-energized breath, cleansed breath up into your inhales, circulating through this cleared pathway in your center channel. I feel like a strong center channel, so strong being the movement is strong, it's flowing, it's unobstructed. Really, really contributes to balance between your left side and your right side. If one is not pulling in more than the other, if they're encouraged to expand and to grow away from center, but staying connected all at the same time. Okay, that's great. So now moving to the area at the top of your head. So bring your breath back and your attention to the top of your head. So I'm holding the fork right along the top of your head, right near the crown. And just gently guiding the fork away from the crown of your head, just like I did down at the bottom by your feet. I'm experiencing some resistance right off the bat, so if your mind has wandered, if you're feeling tension in your face or in your shoulders, maybe relax your jaw. Come back to your breath. Give a nice big exhale if that feels like it's something available to you. knowing that this calm, relaxed sensation is welcome to you. You can feel pleasure in enjoying feeling good. You can release the worries that are maybe up in your head, causing a little resistance right now. Feel free. You have permission to release those worries, to release any overwhelm or responsibility you may be feeling for anything that is not bringing you joy. Great. Now turning to face the top of your head, connecting this current to the top of your head. There's a distinct buzzing in the fork. So maybe if it feels good for you, bring a smile to your face. You deserve these few minutes to yourself to receive this session. Biofield tuning is encouraging your health and well-being. It's a wellness practice that you can receive anytime through these recorded sessions. And encouraging that flow all the way down now and all the way back up in this opened central channel that we have encouraged through this opening sequence. And now that we're well into the session, let's move to the area of your sacral chakra. So this is the area just underneath your belly button. You can bring your attention there. I'm working on your front chakra, the front side. Relax your belly if you're holding it tight. Notice where your tension may be arising as I am bringing this focus on this area of your body. We're going to explore the sensations that you're experiencing in everyday life and how they are influencing your behaviors. So what we want to do is encourage any stuck energy that we're having, encourage the flow of emotion and the discharge of those stuck energies, to allow for the joy in your life, to allow the feeling of pleasure. I'm beginning to column up towards the ceiling, so opening the pathway in front of you from your sacral chakra area up towards the ceiling if you're laying down. Staying with your breath. Now let's bring our attention to the area of your low back. You can stay just where you are, but I have flipped your hologram and I will be working on the area of your low back. So the back chakras in Biofield tuning are significant for receiving. So in this time of challenges in the world, we have a lot of information and we have a lot of caring and a lot of confusion. And so I want us to be able to feel joy, allow joy in our life, and feel that expansion that joy brings. Pleasure and joy can really help us expand. And the more pleasure and joy you encourage in your life, the more you can share. Coming to your breath. Notice if you're experiencing any tension in your low back, if you're clenching your hips or your thighs. Beginning to column up towards the ceiling, columning away from your low back, opening up this channel to allow you to receive joy and feel good about it and feel good about sharing with others and giving. As we come into these times of differing opinions and overwhelm with what's been happening all around us for quite some time, we can open ourselves up to receiving. We can move away from feeling any guilt or shame or disappointment in wanting to feel joy, in needing to feel joy. And to use that openness for other movements, whether it is giving back in other ways because you feel you have the capacity to, or whether it's helping people in your own family feel more joy. Balancing this chakra so we can feel ease and pleasure. We can move through our lives with grace. We can be open to the flow of our life, our energies, our breath. We can feel grounded and in touch with our communities, the ones we love. And I took 2 passes of the back chakra. Now I'm going to move back to the front. Just take a path of that again in the sacral chakra area with a different fork. So in Biofield tuning, in opposite to the back chakras being about receiving, the front is about giving. So this fork is a little bit quieter. You may or may not hear it as much. We want to give this joy freely when we have it to give. and whether it's giving to yourself or to others. Remembering to breathe. And there we go. Great. Now staying with your breath as I do a figure 8. Coming up over the top of your head and under your feet. I'm using the unweighted tuning fork for this. Usually I use a weighted, but I just felt like this was an extra integration that we need right now. And calming from the solar plexus. Great. Now one more. Just tucking you in this cocoon of this beautiful fork. The tone is so sweet and joyful. And your body has now been put into a nice little cocoon of that beautiful tone. And that is the end of our Allowing Joy in Your Life session. Please make sure you take whatever time you need now to be still or to move slowly as you come back into your body. Also remember to drink a lot of water. Encourage that flowing and flushing of energies. And also if you can have any kind of salt bath with Epsom salts or a shower with salt scrub, anything like that, that would always be helpful after an energy session. If you have any questions or comments about this session or your experience or observations, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. You can comment on this video on YouTube, or you can send me an email. My information will be included wherever you receive the session.